there, you're back with old Barry once again, and I'm here with Will. And many years ago, Will and I did a discovery tour of our area, and lo and behold, he made it his home. So first of all, I do want to thank him. I have a series of questions I'm going to be asking a few people that we've relocated here, because someone brought it to our attention that it would be a great idea if you interviewed people. Well, you did after the tour and everything and how much they liked it, but the ones that moved here, how do they feel 5 years, 3 years, 8 years later? Anyway, first thing, I do want to thank you, Will, for doing this, and thank you for helping others.
My pleasure.
Let's start off with this. It's very informal here, but to begin with, how many years have you been living here?
I moved here in January of 2017, so I'm guessing 8 years plus.
About 8 years, so that's quite a while. What was it that first inspired you to consider relocating to another country?
That's a big question. I had a career in the United States. I just felt it was crumbling, and I wanted someplace simple to spend the last chapter of my life in, someplace quiet and simple.
What about, did you visit other countries before coming to this one? And if you did, how many?
You're going to laugh at this. My first choice was New Brunswick, Canada. And that would have been a horrible choice considering what's happened since then. But no, I did go to Panama. I looked into Nicaragua. But basically, the tour that you and I did about 10 years ago put me over the edge and said, because it's small town living in a very affordable corner of the world with a handful of extra narrows. So yeah, that's why I ended up choosing here.
Okay, and were there any additional reasons that you chose the DR over these other selections that you visited prior?
I like the fact that it's an island. The notion of people walking through Panama through my yard was not a pleasant one. And I just think of this place, when you think of an island, you think of a place that is separate from everywhere else. And this is separate from the things that annoy me.
Well, how many visits before you decided on a positive decision to relocate here?
3, if I recall.
3?
Yeah.
Okay, and for about how long were these visits?
Mostly 9 days, maybe a week.
Okay. Different parts of the country? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Punta Cana, and
Right.
I had a ridiculous notion of what that was like, but ended up, again, the appeal to here, and back 10 years ago you called this Mayberry, and that had a big appeal to me, and it fits that description.
Back then it did. It's grown ever since.
Yeah, I hate to be one of those people who's like, well, I'm here now, close the door, but yeah, it has grown quite a bit.
Have you ever in your career or in your life on a personal basis, have you ever lived in a foreign country before this one?
Absolutely not. No.
Okay, so it was prior strictly USA, never Canada or even any other Western nation?
For any prolonged period, no. Vacations, of course, but
Okay.
nothing serious.
Okay. Once the relocation process was initiated, was it a difficult process? Was moving personal belongings, finding a freight company, clearing customs, etc., was it an overwhelming experience, or was it pretty much what you expected it would be?
Mine was extremely simple. I moved here with 3 suitcases. I did not use freight for anything. I sold or gave away or junked all of my belongings and moved here with very little.
And you found reaccessing personal belongings wasn't a big issue? It was fairly simple?
Not at all. Simple.
Yeah, okay, excellent. Here's one that's going to touch a lot of people, because I already know while we were doing tours and they were mentioning they may want to relocate, they found a place they love, they were already getting some issues. But when informing others about your decision, did you experience any flack or disapproval about relocating from family and friends? And if so, has that changed since relocating?
There was not a lot. I don't have relationship with people who will say, "What are you, crazy?" No. If they did, they'd keep it to themselves. They did not really approach it. My daughter once said that clearly it was the right decision for you, like 5 years after the fact. So no, I did not have much opposition. Basically, all you hear is, "Oh, it's not for me." And it's like, "Oh, I don't care. It's for me."
Okay. Okay, excellent. Once relocated, though, shifting gears to the next phase, did you find it difficult to become part of the community once you relocated here? Because I know Spanish was not your language to begin with. So did you find was it an alienated feeling? Was it a community that welcomed you? Describe how it commenced for yourself.
I owe a great debt to people who helped me assimilate. And yeah, I worked at it. I was on the board of a homeowners association, not because I enjoyed it so much as to get used to the area and the people that around it. So yeah, it was quite easy. Quite easy.
So you found basically then the people generally in our community were welcoming, and they did share local knowledge with you and
100%.
make the transition a little better.
100%. They, among other really important details, one of them was, it may sound silly, but I have a very good phone plan, which seems silly, but when you don't speak very much Spanish, it's quite helpful. And so yeah, I owe a debt to people who helped me, especially those first 2 years.
Would you say after, how many years is it now that you're here? God, it's a long time. I feel
It
old.
is.
God, we're getting old.
Yep, you speak for yourself, buddy, but yes, I've been here 8 years,
8
full
years?
time.
Now that you've been here more than enough time, do you find it being completely fluent in the local language mandatory, or is a general understanding sufficient for the average person to get along well?
The latter. It's way easy. In fact, it's too easy, which is why my Spanish has not gotten better, because it's just everyone can help. Many people here have spent time in the States, so their English may be better than your Spanish. And it worked out quite well.
Yeah, I remember, just a side note, when Leanne and I were celebrating 18 years here, and I remember that when we first landed here, it was pretty important.
Mm-hmm.
There wasn't much English being spoken, some French, but not much English. French would be no problem for Leanne. But it's changed quite a bit, and I find it's way easier to get along now without a fluent understanding of the language. Just a basic how to get your point across is
Yes, agreed.
excellent. Do you feel safe where you live? And what about the other places that you've been to in the country? Do you know how the internet can be so misleading in times, and other times it's not? What's been your personal experience about our community and when you travel? Because I know you travel all around the country from time to time.
I have never felt nervous or scared or intimidated here, except when I'm driving at night. Other than that, no one's ever threatened me, no one's ever stolen from me. I live in a community, my neighbors are Haitian, so no, I have nothing to fear, and I haven't since I've moved here.
How do you find the volatility in this country over the last few years compared to your home country?
Volatility.
In terms of aggression, in terms of people kind of being short-tempered, and do you find it a lot more tranquil where you live now than?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. That's why I didn't understand the question. There's simply no tension here of any consequence.
How would you rate the ease of accessibility on the following? For example, finding the everyday things you need, groceries, medical assistance, general supplies, services, and what about health and auto insurance? Things like that. How do you find the accessibility as a foreigner to these services and commodities? Is it difficult? Is it challenging? Is it straightforward?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd rate your overall package a 6. And that's where the more experienced people come in. They recommend an insurer, a phone plan, where the office is in Nagua to get the phone plan, things like that. It would not be appreciably different than if you move from Shaker Heights, Ohio to North Tonawanda, New York. You need help from the locals to know where to go. But let's talk about medical, for instance. I feel blessed that I live in a country where the purpose of medicine is not to bankrupt you. It's appallingly simple and straightforward. Yes, I have health insurance, but it's just ridiculously affordable and logical, and no American can claim the same.
Did you find it difficult opening up an initial bank account so you'd be able to transfer money from the home country to here for your living?
10 years ago on my discovery trip with you, I spent 2 hours in the bank setting it up. I have been hearing recently that it takes months to do now. So it's more difficult now than it used to be. And I'm grateful for doing it earlier because my patience is not that good.
I haven't found that about you.
When it comes to banking.
Yeah, those kind of things, I gotta agree. This is an easy one though, but the cost of living where you live compared to the same lifestyle at home and location would be compared to what it would be in your previous. I could not live, myself speaking, I could not live anywhere near the location, the view, the quality, and the peace of life. In where I come from, Florida, I couldn't even begin to do that. What do you find with your personal experience?
Yeah, similar. I don't really make comparisons, except when I'm forced to, or asked to, because it's just a different world.
Do you find the cost of living it's much more affordable for a better lifestyle? Or
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Is it hard to stay active or get involved in the town and community where you are around Cabrera? Pretty easy?
No, completely. For me, I'm kind of a simple guy who doesn't do much, but I do like to putter around in the garden and play tennis twice a week. But there are other people I know that are much more extroverted, and they have plenty of opportunities.
Just a few more questions here. We're rounding third and heading from home. What are some of the things you're currently involved with that make for an active day?
I'm working on, I have a young son, and so tending to him is very time intensive and, test my patience. But it's a bit of a hoot to be someone who has a young child to watch over in an environment that's considerably different than the one I grew up in.
For families with children, is this a good choice? What quality of education is available, and do many homeschool?
I don't know of any homeschoolers. They may exist. I'm not the most social person, so I wouldn't really know. I have not heard anyone voice a complaint about their schools, and there's many private schools to choose from. My wife's son from a previous marriage is now living in the States, and he's got a straight A average in college, so he got a decent education, or at least a feasible one here. Okay. And then he moved to Pennsylvania. So yeah, it's I have zero complaints about the educational system, just like I do the medical. I won't mention names, but is your son, obviously I know his name, but is your son going to public or private school? He's going to private school.
Private school, and you find it affordable?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. How was the immigration process? Did you find that difficult and challenging? Or?
No, I don't like it. I am applying for citizenship, and someone asked me what the advantages are. It's like, well, I don't have to make the trip to the capital every 2 or 3 years. I don't plan on traveling a lot, and frankly, I don't think the passport is too impressive to other countries. But no, it was not much of a problem at all.
And your primary reason for obtaining citizenship, you only have one country's citizenship now.
Correct.
Okay, so that would allow you a second one, and primarily it's so you don't have to go through the renewal process. Is that the reason?
Yeah, and emotional. And so I can tell people like you, it's my country, Barry. You're just living in it.
There you go. Okay, well, we'll be good. I got big shoulders. In an overall general comparison, how would you rate your quality of life here versus the country you left?
I love the quality of life I had in Ohio. I love the quality of life I have here. They're different, and it just is more suitable for this time of my life. And I smelled trouble on the horizon, and I preferred to go someplace, as I said before, simple and quiet, and this fits the bill. Simple, quiet, and affordable.
I have to admit, though, this, because you know I'm a trends enthusiast, and this country is quite a bit off the radar for all the hoopla that's currently, presiding in most parts of the world, which is nice.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I always joke around and I say, well, there are certain fights you don't want ringside seats for, and this is one of them. So
yes.
I always joke. In closing, on a parting note, 2 last questions. Knowing what you know now, if you had to do it all over again, would you?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's many things I would have done differently, but I would still do it in a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat.
Yeah.
In closing, on a parting note, is there anything you could suggest to others currently contemplating relocating to a foreign country that might be worth considering from what you've learned?
No, not really. It's a very, very personal decision. And I don't feel I could presume to tell anyone else what to do. I have a close friend, who is considering coming here 6 months out of the year once he retires. And that's fine. I have not had a detailed conversation with him because, again, I don't feel like I'm qualified to be in his shoes. For me, it was a perfect fit. But I'm reluctant to advise anyone else to do the same.
No, not really to do, my question is not really to do it or not do it, but is there anything that you could suggest to others that they may want to look into when contemplating a major decision like this? Like anything to, before committing to it?
Again, Barry, it's just, there's many things, and I don't know how to cover them. It's something it takes a great deal of time and thought to consider, but no, I really couldn't. I don't have anything to offer on that.
Well, on a closing note, Will, we're going to be doing this same kind of questionnaire with several other people who have relocated here, and I really want to thank you for taking your time to help us out and to help the town of Cabrera out by bringing in the right kind of people. And hopefully you folks got a little bit of information from this interview. And once again, Will, thanks a lot for your time.
De nada.